So today I'm going to be showing you how to paint this sleeping cat on a 12 by 12 inch canvas panel in acrylics. Now I've already drawn out the cat onto the canvas and I've given it a coat of acrylic gel medium and a little bit of raw umber just to create an imprimatura or a coloured ground to paint onto, as it's so much nicer to paint onto a stained ground than it is on a white canvas. And then with a small brush, a small bristle brush, I'm just going to put in with Payne's Grey some of those relevant little areas that I don't want to lose. I can just about still see the drawing, so just with this brush I'm just putting some of those relevant areas back in so I don't lose them. So I'll just put this in here, and then I'm going to change over to my larger 1-inch bristle brush because it's so much easier to work with a large brush when you're painting with Impressionist style, because that's what this painting is going to be about. It's Impressionist style. So it's going to be lots and lots of large, bold brushstrokes. So don't be afraid of the brushstroke. A little bit of alizarin crimson there, and a little bit of white into that Payne's Grey and perhaps a little bit of phthalo blue will give me a lovely purpley hue, which is great for shadows in a sunlit area. Now this cat is lying on this blanket, it's bathed in sunlight from the window behind it. A little spray of water there, a mist spray, will just allow the paint to move around a little bit easier and be applied to the canvas a little bit easier. So that's a great trick to use when you're painting with acrylics, is always have a spray bottle with you to do a mist spray. You shouldn't be wet, it shouldn't be running down the canvas, it should be just damp. That way the paint will stay wet for a lot longer and you can move it around like you could with oils, basically. And that's the secret to painting with acrylics. Keep the canvas damp until the time comes when you want to dry it off. So this is going to be the first or messy layer. I always like to do my first layer extremely messy. Very quick, very fast, especially with this 1-inch brush. Like that. I'll just put in some of these little shadow areas on the face. And elsewhere into the cat there, a little bit of red just to give a variety of tone into the cat there, and also put those colours elsewhere to create that colour harmony. Bit of vermilion in the ears, a little spray of water because it was just drying off a little, so that little mist spray will help to keep it nice and damp. And then I can use my silicone tool. It's a flexible silicone tool to just move this paint around and really make it messy. Like I said, this first layer, this first stage should be extremely messy. And while that's wet, I'll just scratch my signature into bottom right hand corner, as I usually do. Now I'm going to dry it off quickly with the hairdryer and then leave it a couple of minutes just to cool down. Then I can do the same again, start with that background, doing the same colours but similar but not exactly, so it creates a little bit of variety. Now this second layer won't be quite as messy because I'm going over the top of an already painted layer which is now dried, so that's fixed, that's solid, it won't move anywhere. So anything I put over the top of this second layer, little bits of that first layer will still show through here and there where I want them to. But I'm working quickly with this large brush, and you should try and work with the large brush whenever possible. Now I've left links in the description below to all the tools, materials and equipment that I use, and if you use those links then you'll be helping to support me and my channel, and this helps me to keep bringing you these videos. I also have a memberships YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel I have a memberships section where if you become a member to support me, then you'll get to see my latest uploads before anyone else does. You'll also have access to my live streamings that I do, where I will live stream a painting. Okay, still putting in these really bold shapes and brushstrokes. And the best way to do this is to stand up. If you can, stand up and paint. I'm just going to use the silicone tool here for this second time now on this second layer. See, it's not quite so messy this time. It's looking a little bit more smoother, almost like an oil painting. But if you can stand up and paint at arm's length rather than sit down, then you'll paint a much more loose painting. I'll also hold the brush a little bit further away from the bristles. And you'll see me do this as I progress through the painting. I will hold the brush further and further away. I'm just trying to be a little bit more accurate here. But if you paint sitting down, then you're more likely to get closer to the painting until your nose is more or less touching the painting and you find yourself reduced to tiny little brushes again. You have to resist that urge and just paint loose and bold. You see how far I'm holding that brush back now? So that I can paint loose and boldly with the brush. Let the brush do the work. Don't use your fingers, use your whole arm. Okay, I'm using some variety of colour now, a little bit of lighter colour with a bit of phthalo blue in there to give me a variety of tones in these little shadow areas, in the lighter areas. And I'm applying little dabs of paint all the time, here and there. And that's on top of those other little dabs of paint in those previous layers. So they're all adding up, they're all building up, layer upon layer. I'll just put in some of those little relevant little marks on the face now where the eyes are. They won't stay that bright. I will alter them as we go along. It's just so I don't lose them. I'll just put in a little warm highlight there on the bridge of the nose and on the little bits, the sides of the muzzle there. Because that's just blend it a little bit with my finger. I'll add some of those colours elsewhere into the painting to create that colour harmony. And it needs to be brighter on that window ledge there, so I'll put this in, but I don't want it to be sharp, so I'll just blur it with my fingers like that. If you have a hard edge, a sharp edge in the background, then your eye will automatically be drawn to it, and I don't want that. I want to be able to focus the attention on the cat's face. So round about the nose area, that's where the details are going to be, so the eye is going to be concentrating on that area. So I'll just darken these little areas now around the face, and I'll just keep working on these and that little nose until I've got it looking right. And that's the beauty of acrylics. You just keep working at it until it comes right. And if it's not right, you'll be able to spot that immediately if you have a mirror with you. I always paint with a large mirror behind me that I can just turn around and look at the painting, and you immediately see your errors, the bits that aren't quite right. So if you haven't got a large mirror behind you, just get a little handheld mirror and hold it by the side of you and look at your painting in reverse. And you will immediately see all those problem areas, and you'll easily find out how to fix them as well, because you can spot them using the mirror technique. Okay, I'm just going to put some darker areas in now into that cat just to give it a little bit of contrast, because it is a black and white cat, so it needs to have some darks there. I've just gone over that red area just to make it a little bit darker. And now I'm putting some highlights on the edges, but it's not very bright highlight at the moment. But I'll get brighter just using a bit of titanium white and perhaps a tiny little bit of yellow ochre added into it just to make it slightly off white. And it's only a tiny amount of yellow ochre, but it just warms up that white, stops it looking so cold and chalky. Because you want this to be warm light. coming through this window. It needs to be brighter there in that background, because that's the background is closer to the light source, so that should be brighter. Okay, a few little light purples now into the cat, just with this bristle fan brush. It's an old worn bristle fan brush that I love using because it produces such lovely random brush strokes, and I do like worn brushes for this kind of painting. New brushes will tend to produce new brush strokes, and I don't like them. They're too regular. So I'm just going to lighten that area up now on the top and on the bridge of the nose, a little muzzle there where the light's just catching it. And then I'll just put a little bit of detail into the nose. I'm not doing a lot of detail. It's not realistic detail. It's just a little bit here and there. I've got some light areas in there. I'll just blend that with my finger there like that. And then a few more details into that nose. It's like I say, it's not realistic detail. It's just enough to capture the attention. Because I don't want to get bogged down in detail. It's an Impressionist style painting. A few more of those tones back into the face around the eyes. Now a quick mist spray, and then using a fine line brush I can put in some of these little whiskers on its brow. Just where they're just catching a little bit of the sunlight. Like that. I'll put some more whiskers around the mouth in a moment, but for the moment I'm just going to put in some really wild little brush strokes here and there. This is just what I like doing, it's my style. Now with an old worn nylon brush that doesn't come to a point anymore, I can bend the bristles of this to create almost like a mini fan brush. And it lets me put in very fine little lines all in one go. Now I'm glazing with a little bit of vermilion, that's thin paint, and then I'll use a bit of transparent yellow to go over the top of that, and it makes it glow there now. Those ears now start to glow with light. Back to the small brush now to put in some of the details of the nose once again, some of those shadows, like that, and your eye is immediately drawn to that area now because of the contrast and the detail. Put those eyes in again, a little bit of highlight on the tips of the nose. And then some bright lights now using quite thick paint. Now this is pure white, but I'm not applying it everywhere, just little dots of light here and there with this old brush. Like that. I can put in a few of the purpley colours as well, those light blue tones once again to create those shadows. Like that. And then blend some darker ones in. If you paint quickly, you can blend just like oil paints. Okay, I've got to get these eyes correct. Put those little shadows in once more. They look about right to me now. So it's a snoozing cat now. It looks like a snoozing cat in the sunlight, bathed in sunlight. I'll just put these little whiskers in now. Just one or two. I won't go mad with this. Just one or two little lines there like that. And a few little highlights on one or two of those others. And perhaps they're a bit light. So I may go over the top of that just to darken them off a little bit. Like that. And I'll put in a few more little darker areas of thin Payne's grey now as glaze. And then I'll put some more highlights on the nose, bridge of the nose. And when that's done, that's the painting finished. Hopefully I will see you on my next painting video. So until then, have a lovely day and happy painting!